Now, I hope that everyone who is in attendance tonight, we are all in agreement and in alignment with our assignments. We are ready to blow up what our world is and turn our world upside down in order to be, not necessarily be new, but become something greater than what we have been. So, we had a little interference for a second. We're going to do the contest tonight. Hey, y'all. All right, Precise J. I know that's right. Hey, Lanisha, Nesha, Sarah Turner. Sarah Turner in this bitch. We got Melissa, Shock Rages, Healing Vibes, Lulu 1212. I'll be up in here. Cosio, whatever. Us up in her. Nick Jones done made it. Okay, so I think, Iotima, hello, darling. Who else? Maria P. somewhere lurking where her ass is. Denise V is up in here. Joyful Tia is up in here. Miss Sweet's up in here. Kalita. What was it? It's Kalita Hazak. I was about to say Hazcock. Send me one. Moving forward. We're going to keep it serious tonight until later. All right. Oh, that was right? Okay, cool. The Shut Up and Kiss Me. Oh, and I was supposed to be ordering some more of the ingredients here today. But I did the herbs and blend first. But that will soon come. I go as I feel is right. It is on the list to create some more. You better be mindful of that because you will attract everything. Take it in stride. I guess they go with our 4 agreements here tonight. Recommendations. That's what we're going to do first. So we do have the 5th agreement as well. So we'll go over that eventually, but not right now. We're just doing the 4 right now because we're turning our world upside motherfucking down. Also, if you can, unless you have apps or you already know about astrology, I don't know your life, but y'all, if you've been around a while, you know how I feel about this right here. I didn't get one for 2019, so I couldn't do the opportunity periods and all that. It's been a long learning year for me, right? But the Daily Planetary Guide, they only publish so many. Maybe they changed it this year. I don't know. But this is a good guide to have. It has a lot of useful information in it. It tells you what to expect, especially with this Saturn-Pluto conjunction that's going to happen in January. So there's a lot of useful information in here. If you're anything like me and like things in your hands so you can highlight, this is for you. This will be something good for you to add to your collection. It's your life. What's the other thing? Oh, this card I pulled for myself earlier. Let's stay with it because y'all know it's backwards. And it's called Unique, right? And it goes with what we, with the 4 agreements, with us just really stepping more into being our true selves, being who we were called to be, and having the ancestors of the highest order celebrate like a motherfucker. Because that's what it's about. Carrying on the blood of your blood, soil of your soil. Standing in your truth. Not being who people say you are. Not doing what people say you should do. Not taking things personal. Not assuming, because we asking questions in this next year. So, unique, right? Oh, and thank you for anyone who purchased the oil. And this is unique, right? And with the card unique, the cat is Helix. Stay with it. Helix. And he was always a little different from the other kitties. At first, he felt lonely and alienated. He gazes as himself. He saw that his uniqueness was his beauty, his spark. He alone could twinkle the way only he can. Miraculously, Many kitties around him threw off their normal disguises and began to sparkle in their own way too. Their world became dazzlingly diverse. So embrace the freak within, and remember, outsiders. Moving forward. Now, I don't know how to just take small notes or I was automatic typing as I did some of this shit. I'm not going to go over all this stuff, but I will copy and paste my ramblings. That's where I did the affirmations in here. I will post my ramblings in the group. We calling it a group. That's to come. Bear with me. Now then, because we do need to make sure that our community is safe. And it's all about growth and sharing of those things that inspire growth and nothing more, nothing less. Right? Now. Oh, you got the crystal too? Oh, cool. Okay, my thighs slapped together. All right. I'm not going to hold y'all up too long because I do want to shoot pool. It's been a long week. So there's an eclipse in 2 weeks, is it? Whew. Just have to bear in mind that we got this regardless. All right, let me check stuff off as I complete it to make sure that we do what we're supposed to. All right, so this is what I garnered from the acknowledgement page, right? About how important it is for us to show gratitude, because ain't nobody in our life then came through and not taught us something that we can learn from in order for us to grow, right? And what I was looking at when I was reading the gratitude page, the acknowledgements page, I call it the gratitude page because I'm always changing names and shit. But in that page, he gave his thank yous, and he did admit that they were not the full list of thank yous, but he gave as many as and it was a lot of them, right? So, with that said, if you learn from this, if this changes your life in any kind of way, when you do your book of life for those that come after you, you want to add him to your thank yous, right? He acknowledged everybody that provided insight, guidance, or even a helping hand. So you want to do the same thing. Even if somebody pissed you off and fucked you off in some kind of way, you still grateful because you grew from it. It didn't take you down. It didn't take you out. So you want to be thankful. It's right here because I wrote it right there. Now, I also said that remembering your path and who played what parts, right? And remembering that you didn't do everything by yourself. A lot of people like to say, oh, I did this by myself. Did you really? You didn't read nothing that somebody else wrote? You're not, the way that you speak and in the manner in which you speak, didn't nobody teach you that? I'm waiting. I'm just saying. So yes, add him to it. And also, with that being said too, because I've really been here lately, been pushing. Hopefully, many of you will do it because y'all are changing in so many ways. And even though you are breaking generational strongholds, that does not mean that people coming after you won't go through some of the minute things, even though they don't have to, but depending on their soul contract. But when you are creating your book of life, like your spell book for those who come after you, and when you are journaling, right, and making like a scrapbook of sorts, so you want to make something separate that's just for those descendants. You want to make something, even if it's just your descendants or that you are publishing books to give out to the masses, right? You still want to make sure that you are citing in a way. Like whatever we are learning, relearning, unlearning, is going to be important for those that come after us. And here's the thing about that. I'm not ringing the bell. I was looking for it. The thing about that is your descendants aren't necessarily just your lineage. That's why when people ask me about their ancestors, it goes back to the fact that just because you came in here and your blood, you do your DNA, what you call it, the DNA thing, genealogy or whatever. And it tells you about all these different parts of you that you have 5% this, 10% that, whatever. Even if you don't do it, right? But you can go by what your lineage is that you know of, right? Your descendants, is deeper and is wider than that, right? So we wouldn't want to necessarily say that the book that we create for those that come behind us are just family members. Because you got to remember as well, your legacy, when we roll out of here, somebody always come pick up our legacy. That's why no matter what you do or how you do it, right? You're a visionary. But no matter how you do it or what you do, somebody always came before you. Please show me where somebody didn't come before somebody. I'll wait. So it's important not to just to feel like, well, yeah, I'm gonna leave this for my kids. When your kids got their own soul contracts or some of them, right? Because the work that I do, I already made peace with that. Ain't no telling who gonna move forward after me, who gonna feel like that's the call of their soul. So I made peace with it. I can't force this on my children, even though they are intuitive as well. But that's not their journey. Right. Move forward. It moves into the discussion of the Toltec after the acknowledgments page, right? We need to, well, I'm not saying what we need to do. I suggest on page 13, there's a major focus here. So, it explains the wisdom of the elders and their responsibility to respect and uphold a level of secrecy. Even though we know because I like when things is in layman terms. I think y'all already know that. Many of the books that I have are pretty much in layman terms. I don't need all these twists and turns, long ass words that I gotta go Google. Now, with the Toltec, it was kept secret for a very long time. But what I got from that part of the book, right, is that when it comes to our gifts, whatever our gifts are, right? Because many people everybody got gifts, whether they use them use them knowingly or unknowingly. That's also where the divide comes in. People try to create a divide in doing this type of work, and then if they use their gifts to build machinery. Where is that Four of Pentacles? It's the Four of Pentacles in here that explains that so ever beautifully. But it's all gifts. Like if a neurosurgeon knows how to just go in there and do what they do in somebody's fucking brain. A lot of that shit is taught, but a lot of it has to do with a gift. So it's no different, right? So at any rate, what they were saying was it's important that not all knowledge obtained be given freely. That's where your book come in, and you know who to pass it on to. You know what to put in your book and what not to. Right? And that also, because when I got to rambling in my Word document, it's important because what happens is, and he said it so eloquently, that you can give so much information, but if you put the information in the wrong hands, it's going to be misused. And that's what you don't want. You don't want the information that you have to go to some fucked up usage, right? Basically, that's not what I wrote. Move forward. So, I did say here where this is where your grimoire and anything that you hold close to your chest comes into play. Everything is not for everybody. That's another reason why I personally, because I don't want to just pull myself in this personally, because we don't want to discuss what our mission and our vision is for next year. We want to make sure that we just here to grow and learn together. Now, using your discernment and who you communicate with and what you communicate is important. This also goes for the protection of your energy, setting boundaries, your personal life, growth, vision, etc. It should not be readily available to all. Now, some of y'all have been around for a while, and y'all know what I had to go through last year to make sure I shut my motherfucking mouth. And a lot of y'all helped me with that. Like, Lulu, you need to shut the fuck up. Okay. Now, you can tell me anything, but then I got to figure it out myself. Like, yes, I do need to shut the fuck up. Move forward. Now, He does state that Toltec knowledge is to be spread in this age. So that's why he began to, however long ago this book was published, right? He began to go ahead with, answer the call of his soul. He was in alignment with his assignment and shared what he, could. Because we already know that it's a little deeper than that. But it's good to start, right? That's right. Okay. So it's important to use your discernment before going deeper in certain things. That's even with those who use their intuitive gifts, or just sharing, period. Right? A lot of people like to say, oh, I'm an open book, but sometimes you can't be. Sometimes you can't be. Because you want to protect certain parts of yourself. Whether you are willing to discuss it, you know who you're going to discuss it with. Right? Move forward. That's right. Everything ain't for everybody. The old folks see it. They say a wise person knows when to speak and when to shut the fuck up. First agreement. We're going into the smoky mirror. And what I got from that is we can't expect for everyone to see us as we are, which goes with the assumption, which goes with the taking nothing personally, which goes with, what's the other agreement? Hold on. Being impeccable with your word, etc., etc. Right? So with the smoky mirror, he went through the process where he was awakened, basically. And he saw how all things were connected. He realized that he is not alone on his journey. However, you realize that so you are, so are others. And it's all connected, which goes back to our friend, Helix, the kitty cat, right? When we realize all things are us and we are all things, in that is the magic of life, right? It helps us not to judge ourselves or others. Let people be right where the fuck they at, right? Judging situations, sitting on our assumptions. But we'll get to that in a second. In that, this is what I wrote. I don't know why I write like this, but here we go. In that is the allowing of compassion for all nouns, people, places, and things, animals, right? To be where they are, as we are, right where we are, sharing the same time and space. It goes on to state that the newfound realization, I still use it like it's in the email, in reference to, he says he no longer had judgments about anything or anyone. He realized that everything is a reflection of himself and vice versa. Everything, it's a mirror. Now, whether it's a smoky mirror or not, that's to be determined. Although he decided to look at life in that way, because he had to remember that, everybody's not going to have a clear mirror or a clear reflection of you because they are where they are, right? Because it's levels, right? Moving forward. He realized that everything is a reflection of himself. Okay. And that is knowledge of self, self-awareness, self-awareness. So, although he had expanded his consciousness, others who had not gotten to that part in their process, because everybody won't even get there. I know folks that done rolled up out of here, which means they died or transitioned. I know people who had rolled up out of here, but they knew what they knew when they knew it. And then after that, when they come back through a dream or a medium, then they like, oh, okay, right? I figured it out. But it wasn't meant for them to figure it out only to the level in which they came here to in the first place. It's all growth. We grow on the other side too. Let me get back on her. Now, although he had expanded his consciousness, others who had not gotten to that part in their process, still, he did not judge. Let a motherfucker be where they at. Let a person be where they at. Woo. Okay. So when we come upon a time when others don't see us as our true selves, which is all a matter of perception, right? Regardless, right? See us as our true selves in a reflection to them, that is okay, right? Because as he says, we do not recognize one another because of the smoke in between us, right? So that's where that self-awareness kicks in. It's right there. It's right there. And that helps you forgive a lot of people. That helps you look at things from a different perspective. I'm not gonna go back into the stories I have told on this channel, but I'm just saying it's a matter of, you know, just standing in the truth and realizing what you need to at that time, right? What you don't know, you ask questions. If you can't ask questions, you have to let it be what it is and make judgments based on that until something is revealed, or if it is ever. But you make peace with situations, make peace with people, make peace. All right.
In this next segment, we will discuss domestication and the dream of the planet.
But the domestication and dream of the planet, and in that he talks about how the agreements that we've made that may not be that literally don't serve our highest good, right? So it's time to challenge our own beliefs. It's time to challenge what we, because who we were, who we are, what we had to do, how we responded to certain things, how we viewed ourselves, how we viewed other people in the past. We don't have to continue to be in there. Have you ever heard somebody say, I always been like that? You always? Ain't no growth. It's just, I think that's along the same lines as when people say, I ain't reading no book, I ain't in school no more. Oh, so you giving up on learning? And they really do, and that's fine. They can be where they at, right? We agree. But at the end of the day, if you want more and you want to be a better person and you want to really stand in your truth and accomplish those things that you came to accomplish in this lifetime, so you ain't got to come back here doing the same thing over again. I refuse. Because it ain't like I'm going to remember next time if I come back. But I don't want to have to move forwards. So domestication and dream of the planet. Challenge your own beliefs. Right? The beliefs instilled within you by everyone on your journey can happen over and over again because growth happens in steps. I'm going to slow down right there. A lot of times when we have something to... a lot of the old wounds that we have to, the old ways of doing things, because we've been repetition creates something new, right? By repeatedly doing something is how we can change this, right? Change who we are, change how we're going to do things or what have you, right? But a lot of times it depends, the amount of time that it may take for you to change certain things about yourself, certain beliefs, certain habits or whatever. Of course, it comes with determination. It comes with really being strong and standing your truth about it and knowing, facing it every day that this is what's going to happen, right? So sometimes it can take, you can just make a decision like that and it's done, right? Or you can make a decision but still have to do the work in the process, because everything is an experience. You can't skip. Well, I don't know about you. Me personally, I can't skip steps. I gotta go straight on through the shit, right? Because that way, whatever it is that you learn on your way, where to go in, your book of life that you are passing down to your descendants, moving forward. So the unveiling of fears, worry, shame, and blame helps us grow, and we never stop growing. That's why when people be like, psychics supposed to know this. Hold on, we human. We still growing. I just had a conversation with a very, very beautiful spirit about that a few days ago. Move forward. Being the victim is necessary to determine how you can be the victor, right? Being the victim is necessary to determine how you can be the victor. Right? Sometimes you got to go through it to grow through it. Right? So we're growing through it. Now, on page 12, he says, true justice is only paying one time for a mistake. Right? And that's where mindful, present, and aware comes in as well. Of course, I'm pretty sure many of us can agree that certain mistakes, you gotta be done bumped your head and just insanity, right? Move forward. We also have to remember that some people just, they in that space where they wallow in suffering. It's so comfortable, it's so familiar. It's hard to see the truth in a situation when you're doing shadow work like that. when that's all you know and that's what you're comfortable with. And he does discuss that somewhere in here. I will remember soon enough. But since we growing and going, we gonna fix our mistakes as we go, right? Work on it. This next year, we got this, whatever. Now, when you are living in a way in which your belief system is muddied by the need to be a victim for your own personal suffering, satisfaction, and self-sabotage, it can create a never-ending repetition of a cycle until you either grow and go or stand with no flow. Right? Grow and go or stand with no flow. Right? This can go for any area in your life, many areas all at once, as usually one area is connected to the other. So why dream a nightmare when you can enjoy a pleasant dream? That's on page 15. Why dream up a nightmare? Why dream up a nightmare when you can enjoy a pleasant dream? Once we realize that we are creators and not only what others want us to be or believe we should be, then we become at peace with our true nature. We live more fearlessly in our truths and truths. That lisp, bitch. We live more fearlessly in our truths, and we understand the need to be ever changing and evolving, because our personal book of laws must be rewritten according to our growth and our new levels of knowledge. Let me tell you something. I would like to sit and talk to him. Move forward. But it's ever evolving, ever growing. We either choose to stay in no flow or we choose to grow and go. Period. Right? And we all have a right. We free-willed beings. That goes along the lines with going back to readings, right? When you do, this is for those who do the readings, right? When you do readings for people, right? They have the right. They are free-willed individuals. They have the right to change up anything or, move things around, make a decision. They have that right, right? But if they just want to wait for it to happen or wait to go through it and it's unfavorable, that's their choice because we free-willed. Thank you. Now, I shared the affirmations that I made from page 18 with y'all yesterday, so I don't have to discuss it. I just shared it with y'all. I think I should share these, right? Like he said, stepping out of, I don't know if he said this or I said this, but I don't remember. I didn't put quotation marks. But stepping out of agreements that are fear-based will take some work. And please don't expect things to happen overnight. That goes with baby steps. Everything's baby steps, right? Making a conscious effort to train ourselves on a daily basis is what matters in this life, right? Once we realize that agreements we don't like, once we realize the agreements that we don't like, we have the right to change them. We can make new agreements. Make new agreements. Change happens in that instant when you decide for it to happen. And then you just keep moving toward it. Right? Sticking to it and seeing it through. Staying the course is where the personal power comes in. What is your personal dream of... What is your personal dream or heaven? That's what he asked. I guess it's on page... I don't know what page it is. But at any rate... We have to make new agreements with ourselves. Wherever we feel that we are lacking, wherever we feel that it's time to be something new. Like in that Isis Oracle deck, where she, I don't remember which one it is, but it's like attaching to certain roles in your life, right? Mother, business owner, I'm a doctor, right? Attaching to certain roles isn't always satisfactory because we are ever evolving. We have the right to change and say what the hell we are today. We got it right. As creators, it is important to remember what we speak creates, right? Speaking from the space in which the heart and mind connect has tremendous benefits. We are either casting spells of prosperity or spells of poverty. We are casting spells of love or spells of hate. We are casting spells of beauty or spells of distaste. It is our life, right? Using the affirmations and from earlier, right? Using the affirmations or any affirmations, whatever you come up with for your life, is a starting point to plant new seeds, right? And everything that we want to change, new agreements that we want to make, have a lot to do with planting seeds, but watering the seed, planting the seed, giving it some sun, some time to shine, right? And allowing it to grow, right? Which, that is our personal growth. That is us, agreeing to what it is that we want to manifest in our life. A new us. Mastering transformation, right? That comes later. Moving forward. Now. Preparing for the best with knowledge that all things work out as they should and will as a part of our process is important. It is important, as I have stated before, that we have our go-to affirmations to defend us. Affirmations defend us when fear and doubt try to creep and cause any type of destruction on our paths. Break. We're using affirmations. That's like a conversation that you're having with yourself. He talks about that, I think, in the 4th agreement. Move forward. But the conversations that come through, some weird ass thoughts, right? That try to deter us. If we get to think about it too long and get to questioning ourselves and who we are, then we are making an agreement just about with it. So we want to affirm different than what it is that is we don't want, right? We want to affirm the opposite of anything that would cause us fear, anxiety, anything that would have us shame, blame, right? Affirm the opposite. Moving forward. Affirmations work. And you can also, when some weird stuff come by, because this is what it looked like coming by, it's floating. When some weird stuff floats on by, thank you for sharing, bye. No matter how many times you got to do it. I think I'll talk about it here. Hold on. No matter how many times you got to do it. Because at the end of the day, and he talks about this in the 4th agreement, how there are so many different things that don't, our minds, let me skip. How working on higher presence and learn from mistakes means practice. I hate to skip like that, but it makes sense to put it all together. Energy, know what you can and cannot do. Spiritual rewards. Not doing your best. Always do your best is the 4th agreement. Hold on. What page was it on? Okay, so I don't remember what page. But it has much to do with all of the different thoughts that may come. And it may be that you have thoughts that are in alignment with the direction that you were going. Then you may have these other thoughts that come in that ain't got, they opposing thoughts. So you got to really reevaluate where you are, right? Especially if you're results driven. So you want to, which one of these am I with right now? And how can I clear that out? Because the more mindful, present, and aware that you are, you'll be able to clear them out a little sooner, quicker, right? I don't need you right now. When it flow by, you don't make me no good. Nope, you don't make me no good. It's a thought. Moving forward. Okay. So. Okay, I reread that. Affirmations to defend us when fear and doubt try to creep in, right? And destroy our paths. And fear and doubt can come from somebody said, somebody did. It can come back as far as your childhood. You still got to clear that out, right? We don't need that. Now then. We are speaking to others with discernment to keep from creating dark spells in their lives, right? Which does return to us. So, everything that you put out comes back. It's over 40 laws, universal laws, right? So anything, but that, I believe that's, law of karma. But what you put out comes back regardless. So you want to be mindful of your words, right? Mindful conversations, okay? it's important to have mindful conversations. To now with that, certain people have that innate ability to have mindful conversations, right? And many of us have to grow into it. Really being mindful in the conversation, right? Responding to what they said, right? And not saying anything unsolicited to them, and not putting up with it if they do it. Really being present in your conversation so that you won't assume, right? Being very present in your conversation so you will know what you will not allow to go any further than the conversation in which you are having with someone. Because here's the thing. You can have a conversation with someone and not even know or be in it in the moment. Like, you know how you be driving and having a conversation with somebody, you don't get to respond to certain things because you're trying to keep your eye on the road, right? So then after you get off the phone with them, you're like, hold on, did that bitch say? I need to ask about that right there. What the hell that meant? If you even want to. Sometimes just like, I just see it for what it is and move forward. That's just what that is. I don't need clarity. Just let it be where it is. But in mindful conversation, because at that point, what happens is if you don't go ahead and not, you go ahead and make like whatever it is that y'all are talking about, whether it's your close friends or whoever, you know what you are agreeing to and what you are not. Because you can easily make an agreement with someone said, and now you causing problems for yourself. We just having mindful conversations. Moving forward. Now, it is important to guard the mind from the tales of the past to keep our thoughts focused on our best possible outcomes, regardless of outward appearances. The book states on page 31 that impeccability leads to life, right? Be impeccable by not going against yourself, right? That's why I got to stop saying I ain't shit. I be saying I ain't shit, but I don't be meaning it. I don't put no emotion behind it. I be saying I be fucking up, but I got to change that. As I talk to y'all, let me write down what I need to work on. Hold on. I be fucking up. Because that goes with doing your best at all times. So you can't say you fucking up like all them U-turns I made last night for a parking spot. What was the other one? I ain't shit. I don't even be serious, but I ain't gonna tell myself that no more. I'm gonna work on it. It's gonna take me a while. Moving forward. Now, take responsibility for your actions and do not judge or blame yourself, right? Use your energy for truth and love of yourself. Because when you love yourself, it radiates out. Now, you are not what others have said that you are. So that's where that Detonate December come in. We finna blow up the motherfucking spot. Okay? You ain't who they said you were. You ain't even who you said you were. Because at the end of the day, we are humans. We came here to contradict ourselves. Contradiction is growth. Right? We go through our processes as they come. But we are growing from our experiences. It's your life. Right? Now then, dislodge the engraving of that agreement. Okay? Dislodge the engraving of the agreement. Okay? About what other people said that you are. Other people said you can do. Everybody ain't got to back you. You got to stand in your own truth. Right? Because don't nobody see your vision, your person. Because you got to have your personal vision and your business vision. Your personal goals and your business goals. Moving forward. Your family goals. And okay. Everybody ain't got to be in line with your assignment. But you creating new levels of how you do things and claiming your power and standing in it is important. Moving forward. We can't believe everything we hear, see, feel, taste, or nothing. Right? The only way to break an old agreement, which the fifth agreement, no, not the fifth agreement. I didn't get back here for y'all. I didn't get the rant about back here. Hold on. The Toltec Path to Freedom. I think it's a good read about breaking old agreements. Please read that. Page 93. I didn't get the rant. Move forward. The only way to break an old agreement is to create a new one. Right? When you have fearful thoughts or conversation whereas things are thought or said that you do not accept into your consciousness, it is in that moment that you make an agreement not to agree. Can't nobody tell you who the fuck you are. And even if they do try to, just let them just do like I do. And let them keep on talking. I no longer explain. Last year I did it. Okay? Explaining to folks that is bent on misunderstanding. You explaining who you are to people who, that maybe that's not your tribe, baby. You gotta explain that to nobody. Shit. Everybody you can tell 4 people the same thing. And all 4 of them gonna have a different opinion. All 4 of them perceive things differently. So that's why you just gotta stand in your truth. Okay? And do you. Move forward. I found somewhere to do a meet and greet, bitch. Move forward. So. If the thought or person persists, if the thought that you do not agree with, or some person in your energy they persist, whoever it is, your mama, your auntie, your homegirl, whoever, that is not in agreement. You're not making an agreement with that, but it persists. You keep getting that thought. Tell it thank you, but you gotta go. I don't know why you here. That's how I talk to mine. Blow it off for you. I blow it off this shoulder. This is my left shoulder. Blow that shit off. It ain't for you. That's where most of the stuff that ain't for me is. Now, if it persists, allow it to move on by, as nothing is ever lost in the universe. So you know that a lot of things come back until eventually it's just like, ain't no sense in even fucking with her like that. Ain't no sense in even trying to impede on this person's process or this person's energy, because it's just going to bounce off them. Moving forward, because you made an agreement to not even, right? Now, page 40. Okay, before we get to page 40. It is important to not allow things into your energy field that are not in alignment with your assignment. Okay? Now, unless you like me, and, I'm not going to do it no more. Let me write it down. Sometimes I do just to see something. I need to stop doing it. I ain't doing it no more. I'm finna put it right here. That's one of my agreements. Putting y'all in on one of my agreements. Thank you. But, what is it? It is important to not allow things into your energy field that are not in alignment with your assignment. It'd be fun. Until I'm tired and bored. Whatever. Allow anything in your energy field. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to do it. I'm going to have to put this on my door, too. Now, ask yourself, page 40. Ask yourself, are you seeing things through your own eyes or the eyes of another based on an agreement you made by even listening to their opinions or ideals, right? By reading, watching, or even remembering certain things. So you have to be in tune with your star player, right? Is this something that is of me? Is this something that I am in agreement with? Is this part of who I am? Okay, going back to even with readings, right? I really need to do this for readers. Not readers that are already well evolved and shit like that. The ones that's working on it, right? But I think that's very important for the sitter to understand that. But at any rate, so you want to not try not to, because we connected to so many people and so many things, and that goes back to the domestication of the planet. But it's important to be mindful of the conversations that you have, the words that others have spoken over your life, because you speak over your own life, and you be mindful of who else speaks so, because you don't have to accept what they say who you are. Like if I did a reading and told one of y'all, you do this and you do that, and you do this and you do that. Now you in agreement. Yes, that is who I am. Yes, that is what I do. Yeah, you ain't gotta agree to nothing nobody say. You speak life into life over your own life, right? You ain't gotta agree with that. That's they motherfucking know. That's even though that's coming through spirit about. That's why I try not to tell people like this is who you are. This is who you are. Be mindful. Moving forward. All right, so we're in the second agreement. In the second agreement, it's about not taking things personal. More than likely, anything that someone says has more to do with them than it does you. right? And whether it's good or bad, that's good to point out, right? Growing up, I remember certain people not wanting to commend me on certain things because for some reason, apparently, I already talked about this last Saturday Night Live last week, but it's apparent that some people can read that, oh, you think you all that. I ain't gonna blow your head up. I ain't gonna tell you this. Not knowing that no matter what you say, I'm gonna take it into account, but I'm not gonna take it personal, right? Just think that if I took every good and bad, everything personal, I'd probably be arrogant than a motherfucker. Wouldn't you think? Moving forward. So, we ain't taking nothing personal, good or bad. If somebody feels good about us and this, that, and the other, that's good that they feel that way. Now my state, my soul recognizes yours. Cool. That's cool. Either way, right? Because we all got shadow sides. So either way. But it's if you take something personal that is not your personal truth, especially when it comes with, people slewing, telling you who you are, saying certain things to you that can kind of get you to fear, regret, shame, any of those types of things, the lower energies. If you take something personal, you're making an agreement with it. If you take something personal, you are saying that is part of your truth, right? So breaking the agreement can be as simple as taking your power back and affirming the exact opposite and sticking to it each and every time that a thought or a feeling associated with the agreement reappears. Again, we affirm the opposite. Claps. We affirm the opposite. We ain't got time. And everyone has their own personal truth, right? You got the right to stand in yours just like another person got the right to stand in theirs, right? So, eventually the issue will be uprooted and will not flourish nor blossom in your garden of life, right? You don't allow the seed to be planted. You don't allow fertile ground for it to be planted. You're breaking agreements before they can even get started. Nope, I don't receive that. Thank you. You can have it. Move forward. I got tension in the top of my back. I'm going to get a massage. That's why I keep doing this. It's right up in here. Moving forward. Eventually, like some things that when it comes to breaking agreements, the more that you work towards breaking those agreements, they will eventually be uprooted. Some agreements take longer to uproot, right? It's like a wound. Every wound ain't the same. You can get a paper cut that may heal in a week. But if you got a whole damn burn or a gash, it's going to take a little longer to heal that wound. It's going to take some proper care, attention to heal it. Moving forward. Now, I like that he called those who try to impose their programming onto you, he calls them predators, right? So anytime there's a predator, that would make us a victim. But we are victors, right? So, that is a good way to view people who try to tell you what and who you are based on who they are. Let them be where they at, even though they don't know how to smoke a mirror, right? I'm going to let you be where you at, even though you don't know how the fuck to let me be where I'm at and do me, right? So, that is a good way to view people who try to tell you what or who you are based on who they are. By thinking in this way, it goes back to the victim versus victor metaphor. Once you stand in your truth and begin to view yourself as a victor, you cannot be a prey. Ooh, and that goes into the fourth agreement. Y'all got to read this book and highlight y'all some shit up out here, because a lot of this, what I'm going over, the book is deep. Okay. I don't want to turn this into an audio book. Now then, so, you cannot be prey if you don't lay down and allow yourself to just, let folks do what they want to, and you just in agreement. Yeah, you're right. Like that goes back to my family member. But I'm bipolar. Oh, is that who you are? Because they told you that. Let it go, Louis. So you ain't supposed to do that. Hold on, y'all. So, for me, this was a challenge because the deeper the programming, the harder and more focused that one has to be. Right? The deeper the programming, the harder the work, but it's doable. Day by day, moment by moment, right? So, also, when you know who you are, any good or bad words aimed at you will not be taken personal because you know who you are. Trigger words can either cause pain or joy, but it all comes from our agreements, right? If you're triggered, it is important to get in tune with why and make a new agreement. Like, why was I triggered by that? And then you make a new agreement on how you're going to work on not being, letting that, doing the healing that needs to take place and knowing that you're transmuting and transforming. That's self-awareness, self-mastery, right? So we make new agreements and work on breaking the old ones that may deeply be embedded in our mind and our DNA. Hold on. I said something right there. Hold on. So it's one thing to have an agreement that we make mentally, right? It's another thing to have an agreement we make subconsciously, right? But it's a whole, with the DNA, family curses, generational curses, breaking those agreements, breaking strongholds, soul ties, whatever. And that's another. Let me point that out real quick too. When it comes to things getting in our mind and us making that agreement, and then living within the guidelines of those agreements, right? It can be in our DNA. I mean, it goes on a cellular level because we really are embodying that genetically. And with that, who was that? Rest in peace, Coon. Rest in peace, Coon. He told me about how a woman made up her mind to not be obese because it was genetic. The obesity was genetic. She took it upon herself and she made a new agreement. That ain't what he said it was, but that's what it has come in here with this right here. She made a new agreement to not be. She changed up her mind. She changed up her emotional attachment or emotional beliefs that went with the mentality of the people in her family, even though it was genetic, right? And what happened was, by her breaking that obesity stronghold, the child that she had after that did not gain the weight. So that was breaking a genetic stronghold. It's all agreements. Moving forward. Rest in peace, Cone. The good die young. Now then, according to the book on page 52, fear causes jealousy. Fear causes arguments. Fear causes hate, etc. Right? Taking back your personal power has much to do with using your imagination to live your dream and not a nightmare, right? The choice is ours. We have a choice to believe or not believe what we perceive mentally, right? Also, conflicting agreements, page 56. Conflicting agreements may cause a conflicting life, right? He says, when conflict is present, one side of you may want one thing and the other part of you may want the exact opposite. Oh, that's in the second agreement. I said it was in the fourth earlier. Moving forward. So, this is why it is important to take inventory of our agreements and uncover the conflicting ones and make order of them. Because we're trying to stay in alignment, right? We don't need nothing taking us off our path, even though things will happen. I think we'll get to that in a second. Now, page 59. If you take nothing personal, nothing can harm you. And that goes for the, he calls them black magicians won't be able to penetrate your energy field. He didn't say energy field, but we over here is intuitive empaths. We looking at shit. But nothing can harm you when you are really in tune with your star player, when you are really taking inventory of your agreements, right? Because that's a whole other thing too when it comes to and y'all know I encourage this on a regular basis, to pull all parts of yourself back to yourself on a regular basis, because you would be amazed at agreements that you making. Calm down, Lulu. So my personal belief is that we are living multiple lives on multiple dimensions multiple times, right? I also believe that there are some people who know how to go to other parts of us and get permission. That's why you got to bring yourself back into total and complete possession in this one, right? Because like even in the dream state we go, this is my belief. I ain't telling none of y'all believe shit I believe. It's just a metaphor. Even in dream state, when a lot of people astral travel, astral project, go to mystery schools or what have you, dream state reality really, right? Going, crossing dimensions and doing things like that, when we don't bring ourselves fully back here to the present, some of us is left in another dimension or realm. Pull yourself back to complete possession of yourself, because you are the sovereign ruler of yourself. So you want to be mindful of that. Okay? That's why it's good to take inventory. Because a lot of things that we go through we going to have obstacles, we going to have challenges, we going to have things that catalysts, whether good or bad, however it's perceived, it's all the same to me, whatever. Because it's part of our process. But we just want to make sure that we are in agreement with where it is that we are going and how we are going, who we are in our truth. Okay, moving forward. Not taking things personal helps us to heal and break agreements that make us, not taking things personal helps us to heal and break agreements that may cause undue suffering, right? Because we are free-willed beings, right? We spiritual beings having a human experience. So, remember, you are only responsible for you, right? And with that responsibility, there's a lot, right? By you being taking yourself into your total possession, right? And really standing in your truth, it's going to affect the people around you. But you're not responsible for them, but you're responsible to how they treat you. You're responsible to how they respond to you. You're responsible for how much shit you're going to take. All right. Now, even in times of turmoil, you can be still in the eye of the storm with knowing that this too shall pass and you won't be affected. So that got a lot to do with not taking nothing personal. It's not happening. Most of the time, stuff don't be happening to us unless we embody it. Most of the time when shit be happening, it's just, just sit in it. Fix what you can't, and let it unravel. Measure of faith as well. I like that. Moving forward. Asking questions for clarity is important. We do not have to justify everything. That's on page 67. We don't. You ain't got to defend your beliefs and defend what you stand in. You ain't got to. You ain't got to explain or understand that for everything to feel safe. As long as you know what you're doing is what you feel is appropriate at this time for where you are and the direction in which you are going, and you stand in your personal truth, it shouldn't be no reason for you to have to explain certain things. Another thing that I am working on in certain areas of my life, I'm not explaining. Moving forward. Now, page 69. We must remember everyone does not see in the same way as we do. Smoke and mirror, right? Questioning yourself and getting in tune with what you are truly capable of is also important. That's on page 69. Page 72, it says that the day we stop making assumptions, we communicate clean and clear, right? We are free of emotional poison. I had a thing that popped up on my phone yesterday about emotional poison before I even typed that up today. Wish I remembered it. Moving forward. Now, say what you mean what you say, know what you want, know what you don't want, know what you're willing to put up with and what the fuck you ain't, and be clean and clear about it. In all your relationships, anything with a ship that's supposed to be moving forward. Some ships dock and they don't move forward. You're gonna dock that bitch right there. Relationship, friendships, whatever. Dock it at the bay. If it's worth going back to, you go back. If not, somebody will probably go live in it, in the ship. Leave it where it is. So, moving into the fourth agreement, the fourth and final agreement before we do the contest. Page 75. Always do your best. And this has a lot to do with working on those, right? Putting your best, whatever, like he said, your best can change from day to day, your mood, just do your best as you go, right? So your best will fluctuate from time to time depending on your mood for the most part. By doing your best, you will empower the other three agreements, right? Doing your best, do your best to ensure that using the agreement serve you and others well. Because you're doing a disservice if you ain't working on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where it comes into play, where I just keep meeting the same type of people. I just keep, going in circles. That I used to like to go in circles. I don't want to talk about it. Certain circles. Moving forward. Doing your best to ensure that the agreement serves you and others, right? Or for the highest good of all, right? Be mindful of your energy. Know what you can or cannot do based on your ability to do your best in any given moment. And always be in agreement with that. You did the best you could with where you were and what you had at that time. Right? So you ain't got no reason to be feeling guilt, shame, regret, worry. You did what your best, right? Regardless of what other people try to say. Well, you could have did this. Bitch, you don't know what I could have done. I need you smoking mirror. I'm just going to start saying it. Instead of responding, I'm just going to be like, smoking mirror. I ain't responding. Move forward. I'm not responding. Now, doing less than your best may cause you to become frustrated, self-judging, having feelings of guilt and regrets. Working from a higher presence, right, is important to work at maintaining. Self-mastery. This is about self-mastery. So on page 77 through 78, he talks about the master to the student. I believe it was something to the effect of a student asking a master, if I meditate 4 hours, how long do you think it will take for me to transcend? And the master goes, it'll take you 10 years. And the student goes, well, what if I meditate 8 hours a day? The master said it may take you 20 years. And he was like, how? The student was like, how is it that if I meditate less, the more I meditate, the longer it takes? He said, because it's all about living your life and not just trying to push. This ain't what he said right here, but this is what I got from it. But not trying to push the process and push your transcendence, right? So it just makes sense. We all got to continue to live. We all have to continue to go through our experiences, what we signed up for, and continue to move forward. Whether you believe you signed up for it or not, I don't know. Right. But if you look back on your life, you will realize that certain things, certain people, situations, and everything was connected and it made you who you are today. Right. Moving forward. So do your best with love and not expecting a reward. Right. Page 80 states that taking action without expecting a reward, we enjoy every action that we do. Right. Because spiritual reward is even bigger because you get a lot more. It's totally different than when you look at things. Okay, say for instance, working. I think he has something like that in there too. But like from working, you working for the check, but you don't even really like what you're doing. So you dread going to the motherfucker. Now you got ulcers. I don't know your life. But when you are doing something that you, it feels good. There's a personal, what would you call it? A personal satisfaction that this is, you're doing a good deed, you're doing the good work. You're not expecting a reward, but you are rewarded by being in alignment with your assignment, living in your truth, right? And you'll enjoy things better. Spiritual rewards are greater than we can imagine when thinking and doing things in this way. Self-acceptance comes from doing your best. Page 81 says that we learn from mistakes means we learn from our mistakes, which is our practice. Practice make perfect, right? That goes to self-transformation, mastering self-transformation, right? It increases awareness. And we want to look honestly at the results so that we can keep practicing certain things. Like that yielded good results. I'm going to keep doing that. Right? Inventory. Constantly taking inventory. Right? There is no result without action. Page 84 says, letting go of the past means you can enjoy what is happening right now. In this moment. Who? Repetition breeds mastery. If y'all need to get this book, I ain't playing. Those of you who got the audio book, okay, keep listening to it. Listen to it in your sleep. I suggest. Because I don't like trying to tell people what to do. Free-willed individuals. Who am I to tell somebody what to do? I can suggest. Tell nobody what to do. So this is all about Detonate December. Detonate December. We got things to do. Detonate December. I got to print out them 4 agreements and put it on my thing. Honey, where did you go? There you go. I'm going to go shoot some pool here. Gotta move forward, honey. All right, y'all. I'm finna go shoot some pool. Okay? Holding on to this hair, honey. Holding on to it, baby. Sweetie. Okay, Nisha. I got you. But let's go ahead and... We in agreement here tonight that we working on ourselves. It's always work to do. No matter who you are, where you at, where you going, it's always work to do. I like it. Thank you, Uptown. I'm gonna get it together because I also I wanted to do another Iota IY batch, but that'll be sometime next year. When the girls want to really get the feeling themselves for summer pool. Ooh. Smile at the man in the hat. Who is that? All right. Yes, Sarah Turner. Sarah Turner. That's what we doing. We doing the Sarah Turner. Anytime an obstacle come, we ain't even trying to speed past like, oh shit. We not hitting our brakes. We just gonna slow down a little bit. And slowly turn. Make a new agreement. Oh, you try? We make new agreement. Breaking old agreements. As we go. We can't fix everything all at one time. Whatever. We can't. Did y'all get the books up out of here too? Oh, the meet and greet? Yeah, I found somewhere, so we're going to see how that go next year since it's just, my process is slow as shit. Okay, let me pull that back. I'm in alignment with my assignment. Everything is working out as it should. Boom. Ecosio. And I am that person. If I just have one little drink, I'm going to swear up and down. I really know what I'm doing. That's why I'm going to wear some heels. Because that makes me feel like I'm really shooting pool. I'm a pool shark. Whatever. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Thank y'all so much for it's 8:44. We right on time. Thank y'all so much for just, being who y'all are and wanting to move forward in your life with this growth, honey. Okay? Y'all make it all the more worthwhile. Thank you. All right, y'all.